What's up, my good people? I hope you all are having an amusing day. You are welcome back to my YouTube channel. In today's video, guys, let's talk about ProveX. We know ProveX have already ended. All right, the sacrifice phase have officially ended, and a lot of people are confused. Should I say they are worried or even scared? What is going on? Some are even saying, "Oh, what is going on now? The sacrifice is over. Why are we dumping? Why haven't we recovered?" So a lot of things are happening now because we are in the recovery phase. All right, and some other people are worried. Why did Richard Hart put up to $398 million at the end of sacrifice? Now he controlled the 75% of the secretion supply. So all these and more are what people are talking now. So let us slow down and talk about the facts, not emotion. So this is not a light time for you to start, making up emotion. All right. So now the sacrifice have ended. Is not bearish. It is actually bullish if you understand it. Okay. First of all, when the sacrifice ended, the sell pressure actually reduced, and if you see nobody is dumping hex or PulseChain or anything to go and sacrifice, we are actually in a recovery phase. We remember that we went from almost 2 cents. The last time I made video, it was 2 cents. Now it's sitting at almost 3 cents, while PulseChain is almost sitting at 1.7. So everything is in a recovering phase. All right. So now let's talk about this. Why is this actually bullish? All right, because there is no more new people dumping to go and sacrifice it. Nobody is trying to get into the sacrifice. Nobody is trying to dump. So that's what you have to understand. So the markets have already started recovery. We are now in a recovery phase. All right. So people don't even understand this. So if you are selling now, you are actually going to miss out in the little thing. So now let's talk about the fear of people who are afraid that Richard Hart puts $98 million at the end of it. Okay, Richard Hart put $98 million at the end of the sacrifice phase. So did he put 600 and something million dollars at the end of PulseChain sacrifice phase. So a lot of you have already forgotten that this is Richard Hart pattern. You might argue that, oh, but this is the pattern doesn't work. That is why we don't list anywhere. Slow down. We have the money to move this market. I will explain everything to you for you to understand. Now let's talk about the elephant in the loom. All right. Let's talk about elephant in the loom. Yes, Richard Hart sacrificing $398 million at the end of sacrifice phase. That is the elephant in the loom. All right. He did that in PulseChain sacrifice, in PulseX sacrifice. Yes, and that give him roughly 90% of the PulseChain and PulseX sacrifice secretion supply. But when it comes to ProveX, even he put almost $400 million into it. That give him roughly 75% of the control. Even he couldn't even get 90% of the whole supply. You don't know how actually bullish he is. So people are saying, boy, it doesn't count. This is bad. How he own everything. So what you are missing now is that this is not new. All right. This is her pattern. He have been doing a kind of things like this. All right. He owned this secretion supply in order to reduce the middleman coming to dump on you. So are you going to be pumping a coin that you don't own? And if you go back to history, he have never dumped any of his bag. He have never sold Hex, he have never sold PulseChain, he have never sold any. So he only likes to control the price, to control everything he owns. So what if ProveX become a thing tomorrow and the global world is using it and he doesn't own enough of it? So do you understand? So it doesn't change a thing. Even this coin is not going to be in secretion supply for crying out loud. You are not going to see it in secretion. It's not going to reflect to the market cap. So the actually coin that we are going to be trading is 320 billion, which you sacrificed for $16 million was lays. All right. So there's no way we are going to be buying the coin that Richard Hart is holding in his wallet because it will never count. All right, so he did the same thing on Hex, PulseChain, and PulseX. So you have to understand that. In all of them, he did the same thing. He sacrificed heavily at the end of it, and he became the largest holders. And he did not dump. He have never dumped. He have never dumped. He do that to intensify the markets, to protect the ecosystem. So if his pattern was destroying the project, Hex wouldn't have done 10,000 S. Hex wouldn't have survived all these years. PulseChain wouldn't have even existed. All right, so you have to understand this. So before you talk about, oh, he have done sorry the price, he put this so much money into this ecosystem, into the sacrifice phase, you have to understand the real thing. Even after he put $400 and something million, he couldn't. I mean, he could not even get 90% of the circulation supply of ProveX, but he have 90% of PulseChain, PulseX, and Hex. The total supply of PulseChain is 138 trillion. And the only circulation supply is just 15 trillion. So he owned 90% of it, more than 90%. Almost 98% of it, he owned it. And now you are suddenly worried because we contributed $16.4 million, and we minted a coin that the whole coin we minted was 320 billion. It's under 1 trillion. All right, so you are bullish on a coin that is have about 150 trillion for you to get 1000 S, but suddenly you are now bearish for a coin that have little as 320 billion. That can easily ProveX need only $36 billion to go to 1000x. All right. So right now, you become bearish. You become, oh, I'm bearish on this. This is over. For ProveX to do a 10x, it just needs $320 million. That is nothing. Even at a low, the lowest of PulseChain still see $100 and something million. After 10x low, do you see how heavy PulseChain is to compare to ProveX? If you times the market cap of ProveX doing the sacrifice with the sacrifice rate, that is about $34 million. Nothing. So for people who are expecting it to dump, I wonder where you want it to dump to. Maybe 3 million market cap for you to buy all of them. That's funny, bro. So why ProveX is actually different is in a good way is that most important thing that people don't understand, people are missing this thing, is that despite putting $98 million, Little Heart couldn't even control 90% of it. I said it before, and he's only controlling 7% of the whole supply, which is not his way. All right, but because he have run out of money, he couldn't control 90% of the supplies. Unlike when we are in the sacrifice phase of PulseChain and PulseX, he controlled almost 97% of the whole supply. And you don't talk that time. You are still bullish. But now he's controlled only 75%. CZ control 90% of BNB loan up. So I want you to think about it. In early projects, his control was much higher. You know, if you look at the circulation supply, he was controlling in Hex, in ProveX, in PulseChain and PulseX, it was much higher than this. So that means more supply to the community hand than he's holding. All right. So less absolute centralized than the previous one. This one is more or less centralized than the previous one if you don't understand it. All right. So and if you look at the people that sacrifice, there are two people that sacrifice on this project. Number one people is Hex count, through Hex counts. That's why you see Hex fall off, Hex dump for them to participate. Through Hex counts, strong holders, all right? They are known for strong, they don't normally sell their coin. Another set of people that sacrifice for this is the smart people who understand Richard Hart is going to pump this coin, and this coin is a good entry to compare to all of those PulseChain, Hex, and all that. Because why is this coin so bullish? Because number one, this coin have a cap supply, it have a buy and burn, unlike Hex is inflating, PulseChain is inflating, PulseX have a buy and burn, but it is still too much. It should have 22 trillion coins. Now this coin have only 320 billion. So compared to that, so let me say if ProveX was born in the late of PulseX, it's going to burn all the whole circulation supply in under 1 year, and to we go to $1. So people don't actually understand this. So instead of you to be bullish on this, you have to be very, very, very bullish on this project. All right. So why am I always saying I'm bullish on this thing? Why am I hoping for upside and the bigger upside than the downside of it? Now let's be realistic. At this stage, most weak candles they have already sold out. Fear is already priced in. The narrative is extremely negative. All right, everybody is calling Richard Hart is a crook, is a con man. This is the people who always praise Richard Hart, call him the king of crypto, the wise man, the most wise man in crypto. All of a sudden, all of them are bullish. So you don't see this thing. If you are in crypto for a long time, you know that when everybody is in the same direction, that is when everything always flipped. We have seen this before a lot of times. So when everybody is deadly, like we are gone, this is the end of it. That is when everything turned out to be positive. I have been here for long. I understand this. This is my 8 years in crypto. I have made money, I have lost money. So the narrative negativities is extremely low on PulseChain. Now people are so negative. People are so bullish. You see some people create an account and say Richard Hart is a loser. So the name of the account on X is Richard Hart is a loser, and from the beginning of a day to the end of the day, they are going to be trolling Richard Hart, calling him all kind of names. Some people are revealing his location, giving his information to the FBI to arrest him, because people are so negative toward Richard Hart. That is the most bullish case on PulseChain now, because when the negativity is low, when nobody is so bullish, that is when the market flipped. Remember when everybody said Hex was a scam? Hex was a scam. At the end of the day, Hex did 10,000 S. People missed out. Now everybody was saying PulseChain is going to do 1,000 S. PulseChain failed. You understand when everybody was calling for Bitcoin to go to 10,000? What happened? Bitcoin didn't touch 10,000. It from there went up to 120,000. People missed out. When Solana was $8, you could have bought. Everybody said Solana is dead. So my friend is in prison. He's dead. Oh, it's over for Solana. Oh, Solana. At the end of the day, Solana went from $8 go to $230. That is, you miss it out again. Now at the bottom of PulseChain, PulseX and Hex and ProveX is coming, and everybody is now low. Everybody is now saying, oh, this is over. This is over. We are going to move out from here, and boom, we did 1,000x, and you miss out. So in crypto, when everybody is bullish, I don't see it as a good thing. But when everybody is bullish, that is where I come in. So ProveX is early. The controversial behind it is funny that people don't understand it. A lot of people misunderstood it. Is undervalued. All right now. All right. So those are the exactly ingredients that you need to create a massive pump. So all these things that I mentioned now is, if you look at the past cycle, the gains that we have on Hex, if everybody was able to buy Hex, everybody was bullish, Hex is going to go to 1,000x, there's no way it can do 10,000. But people doubt it. People say it's a scammer. That is why we did that. So the 10,000x gain is sure. All right, the 10,000x gain is sure for Richard Hart. So let me be very clear with you. I'm not giving you a financial handout, so it's not a guarantee. So I'm not a financial advisor. I'm just begging you, don't take my advice as a financial advice. I'm just giving you educational purpose video where you can understand and make a decision for yourself. If you don't know, you can go and find a financial advisor who can advise you how to invest. So I'm not a financial advisor. For disclaimers, please don't come and sue me. I don't have any money to pay you. You all know that we are in this together. We have been losing money for more than 4 years now. So don't sue me, because I'm just telling you what I observe. I am Crypto Truth Daily. All I do is I just tell you the truth. I tell you my own. And if you want to be, if you want to take it serious, take it serious. If you don't want, you leave it. I'm going to see you by this time next year, when I'm going to be rich, when I'm going to be in my mansion, when everything is going to change, and you are going to be saying, oh, wow, I am lucky. I'm not lucky. I'm grinding now. I'm telling you the fact. I'm telling you what is going to happen. So let me be historically clear. Early Richard Heart ecosystem is an asset. If you are in early in Richard Heart ecosystem, you have made it. You are 1% of people. Okay, with low liquidity and low people, low liquidity on the ecosystem and the low participant on ProveX, bro, you already made it. All right. So when strong liquidity rotate from PulseChain, from Ethereum to PulseChain and ProveX and all this, we're going to see a lot of upside. All right. So if you look at the liquidity, the whole liquidity on PulseChain is around 16 to 5 million to 16 million now. So imagine when 600 and something million dollars was injected into the ecosystem, what will happen? So it's going to of course, it have to produce an extremely upside. It have to go beyond your limit. Like, I am not calling for 1000x on ProveX, because it can do even 20,000x. All right. So if capital rotates from Ethereum to PulseChain ecosystem, we are 100% guaranteed that we are going to see a 1000s. I'm not saying it, because if you look at the low liquidity, bro, which is going to change everything. So if you understand what is coming, what is going to come on PulseChain and PulseX and even ProveX, you should be positioning yourself now. Now is not a time for you to exit the Heart ecosystem. So if you have been here for more than 4 years and you think you are giving up now, bro, you have destroyed your future. I don't know where you can make the loss that you have lose for the past 4 years. There you cannot make it anywhere. Are you going to buy Solana that is $200 and something $? Are you going to buy Bitcoin at 80,000 now to recover your lose? What are you going to buy? We are here. Our $600 and something million is still on Ethereum. Be patient. It's going to come. So final thought, my final take on this is that if you are looking for something safe in crypto, it's up to you to understand that every crypto is risky. Like everything is risky, all right? But if you understand the risky and cycle and human behavior, all right, and Richard had a history of behavior, so you understand that then you understand that ProveX is ending, ProveX sacrifice is ending, and it might be the beginning of the bull run. It might be the beginning. Like, if you have fear at this level on PulseChain, on Hex and ProveX, bro, you are not supposed to be here. I'm telling you. Yeah, you are not supposed to be here. I'm not lying. I'm not joking to you. So with all this I'm telling you now, you think ProveX we not pump, PulseChain we not pump. Is over, bro. You are making a mistake. All right. So, and I have told you, there's no way you are going to recover your 4 years that you wasted on PulseChain if you don't stay more 2 years or more 1 year to see the gain. We have waited for this moment, and ProveX is going to change everything. And I want to especially congratulate those who listen to me and sacrifice for ProveX. You are a millionaire. Enjoy your money when you get it. Use it to buy PulseChain, buy PulseX, and also invest in real world assets. We are going to be rich. Ethereum is going to go to 6,000. So a lot of things is going to change. So if you are still bullish, I wonder what I'm going to tell you after watching this video. If you are bullish, I can help, but I'm just telling you the fact. All right. So thank you for watching. I will see you in the next one.